Hi, folks. Welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 90. We got through the wild card round, and we're going to speak about that shortly. But first, you got the big Ern and Wonder here, as usual. Say hello, guys.
Good evening.
Hello.
So, Wonder, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. This is your big weekend. What happened to these games?
They weren't really good.
That-
The one last night was competitive, but besides that, that was really it.
Yeah, it was last night's game.
the best game of the weekend.
I think so.
100%. I felt so bad for you. I'm watching the game Sunday. Saturday I watched the game here, but I started at the brew house watching the Saturday afternoon game, and then I went out and then came back here to watch the night game. And I'm like I don't, we'll get to the Chargers Houston game in a second, but that Pittsburgh Baltimore game, man, how awful was Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
They showed no life. I thought it was going to be close, and maybe Baltimore wouldn't by a touchdown, a late touchdown, because I really thought that Pittsburgh's defense would keep them in the game, and they really didn't.
They played basically the way they've played the last 5 weeks now,
Yeah.
which is shocking because in the Charger Texans game, it was a complete opposite. Chargers have been on fire, and the Texans have been playing like crap, and the Chargers looked like garbage, and the Texans played well.
Yeah, and I think Herbert had 3 interceptions all year, and he threw 4 in that one game.
Crazy.
Isn't that insane?
It's just
And that game was so boring. I'm watching this game, and I'm like, Jesus, neither one of these teams are built to beat Kansas City next week. And I'm just, it was awful.
I was hoping for so much more out of the Chargers, but
I kind of expected more out of every game, but like we said, the Commanders-Buccaneers game. that was good. And even them, they had their issues, but it was close the whole game, which is kind of what you want to see, right? You know?
At least it kept you interested the whole game.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching it on my phone half the time because I was watching a movie because I was so bored with the football games on Sunday afternoon. Even the Buffalo game was weird too. The Bills-Broncos game, the Broncos scored right away. And then that was it.
That was it.
They went for it on the punt too. They got that. I was maybe they got some life, but no.
Yeah, maybe they got some trickery, some Dan Campbell trickery going on. They're gonna try and stun the Bills, and then the Bills just slowly took the lead and then kept going and going and going. But oof, these games, I don't know what's going on. Is it the extra week of play? You know, I don't really know what to put a finger on it. But I can't remember a wild card weekend being this bad, and there was no upsets.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
I know I picked Tampa Bay, but they were the home team, so I guess you could say that was an upset. But the Commanders are a better team than they are, so I wouldn't really consider that an upset.
Right.
I really thought the Packers were going to be the Eagles, and they played pretty good defensively. It's just they couldn't get no offense going either.
Yeah, Jordan Love didn't look great either, and he's been looking good,
Yeah, he was pretty good the whole year, except for when he was hurt. And he had a couple games in the middle of the year when he came back where he was
some of his throws, they were just god awful. Some of his throws.
Yeah, but that was what a lot of the quarterbacks this year. Herbert was the same way. What was he looking at half the time? Weren't even close. I can't even pinpoint anything good to say about these games, really. Besides that, the teams that are moving on, next week, it's going to be crazy. At least I know it's a Monday, and we have one more game tonight. We got the Vikings versus Rams. Do we remember who we picked? We all picked the Vikings on that one?
Yeah.
Unless
Okay.
you picked the Rams.
No, I did not. I mean, listen, who knows? That could be an upset, even though the Rams are at home.
Well, it's in Phoenix, right?
Yeah, they all got shipped to Arizona, so they're playing in a neutral site, which is weird. And you know what the funny thing about it is because it was a Rams home game, they gave tickets, like they sold a majority of the tickets to the Rams, and then to the Cardinals home, fans.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird.
I heard the same thing.
Yeah, like, I guess it's weird hearing it because that normally doesn't happen in the playoffs because of the fires that are out in California. But, like, you wouldn't give any to Minnesota. Like, I get you lose some of the...
Well, I guess, I think from what I'm understanding, they said the majority of the Minnesota fans would have had to have purchased those tickets on the secondary market. So it's just a matter of refunding them their money and that's it.
Yeah, but now to go, like, you thought you were going to LA, now you're going to Arizona. It could be kind of tough.
Going.
Right.
That's the thing.
Right. But, like, to me, you'd want to have some Minnesota fans there. Like, I even thought that even if they had it in LA, you'd still see a couple thousand Minnesota fans there. So they should have opened up the market to them, too. But, like, they should have set it up where, all right, we're going to give the Rams fans X amount of tickets, then give the Vikings fans, like, obviously, like, a percentage of the rest of the tickets. Like, if you were giving the Rams 50%, maybe
yeah, but I
give
guess logistically it's probably just too much work because they're going to be like, oh, these guys will have to change their flights. Are they going to be able to change their flights? Yeah, who knows?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in, I guess. But tonight it's going to be like a weird game. Like, are they painting the field for the Rams? Like, or is it just going to be Arizona Cardinals red? Or like?
Oh no, I'm sure it's
they're painting it.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least you'll have that. I'm interested to see what that's like tonight. I'll watch a little bit of that game. As far as our picks for next week, I would say we'll do, since the game is tonight, we don't know who the winner is. We'll pick both scenarios.
Okay.
So whether it be, obviously we know it's the Phillies playing either one of these teams. We'll
It's definitely the Phillies.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything for next week. Everything's pretty much set out in stone. So Saturday afternoon at 4:30 of Kansas City, Houston. Which I remember was I talking to you guys about it last week? Or maybe no, it was Rob Hoy. I was talking to him yesterday about it, where he's like, "Who are they going to have play Saturday because of this Monday night game? You can't have them play Saturday. They already had they're going to have a short week."
Right.
And it's exactly what I said. The two teams that have the byes are playing Saturday. So you got Kansas City, Houston, Detroit, Washington Saturday afternoon at 4:30, and then 8:00 at night for the Lions game. And then Sunday you have.
I thought you said Washington's playing Detroit.
Yeah, it is. They're playing on Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday. So it's 4:30 and 8:00.
Correct. And then it's 3 and 6. The 3:00 game on Sunday being Philly and the winner of this game, and then Baltimore Buffalo at 6:30, which is going to be a crazy game. I hope.
That's a good time too.
Yeah, it's weird. Do you guys remember last year if those games were at 3 and 6:30?
I think so.
Because I know the AFC NFC Championship games are 3 and 6, but I didn't remember the second round being would this be the divisional round? Yeah, the divisional round being 3 and 6, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Because I always thought it was like 1 and 4, but maybe they moved it back so they get a little bit of primetime action. Because you'll get half the game on primetime, which is good for them. I don't even know. Yeah, that's on CBS, so that everyone's gonna be locked in. Oh, you know what's good? No Prime, none of that nonsense next week. It's all ESPN, Fox, NBC, and CBS, so that's good. But yeah, not really much going on with the football games this weekend. I was heartbroken for you, especially if you watched the majority of the games.
One, I would say the Pittsburgh Ravens. I didn't watch the whole game for that, but the other ones, just not great action, pretty one-sided for most of them.
Yeah, they were
Hopefully
boring.
we'll get some better. Hopefully last night that momentum continues tonight. I guess we'll see, and then we'll see what the games this weekend coming up.
Yeah, let's hope that this game tonight is a good one, and then we go into next week all excited because, that's all I'm looking forward to is getting to watch football next weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening or whatever I'm doing, but I'm going to watch football somewhere. How do we do on our picks this week? Not the best, right?
Well, we had Houston wrong. I think that was
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
for the Wanderer and I, we just had the Charger game wrong. We were 4-1,
Nice.
and you had the Chargers and Tampa wrong, so you were 3-2.
Terrible. All right, so, and then we all have the Minnesota game tonight.
Yes.
We're all in Minnesota. All right, so you guys had a good week. So remember when I sent you that piece of paper with all my TD scores? So I broke them apart into 3 bets, right? And the only reason why I did that is because I had like boost bets and no sweat bet where like you get your money back or whatever it was, right? I lost them all.
No.
Yeah, I wish I would have just took a look because I lost one of them. I lost 2 out of the 4, but the other 2 I just lost 1 in each, and I was like,
I had that little streak where I was doing well, and then I did that 10-day challenge thing I told you, and I got to day 4 and I lost, and I haven't hit anything since.
Next week will be interesting because there's so many teams with guys that score that you could almost pick like so many different people to see who's going to score a touchdown. So next week is going to be real interesting on where I go because normally I look at stuff at TikTok, what they say, and then like weed people out, you know what I mean, and like just keep the ones I like.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while I have a good feeling about someone. I'll throw someone a dart in there just to spruce it up a little bit. Like if he's like plus 250 or something like that, like if he hits, I might win like $500, you know. Hasn't really been working well for me, but you know, whatever. We'll figure it the hell out.
It is what it is, right?
I mean, football's almost coming to an end, so I'm gonna throw a couple, you know, bets against the wall and see what sticks, and maybe hopefully I can win a couple $100 before the Super Bowl.
Hope for the best.
Right? As far as next week's games, I know, like I said earlier, we have this game still tonight, but we'll start with the Saturday games, right? So you got Kansas City, Houston. Kansas City's at home against Houston. I don't have a spread here, but I know we're not really picking against the spread. We're just keeping an eye on it.
Right.
I'm going to go Kansas City. I don't see how they rest for 2 weeks and they don't come out strong at home and just bury the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think the Texans showed enough against the Chargers, as bad as the Chargers were. I don't think there's any chance in hell that the Chiefs are going to play as bad as the Chargers did.
No, I don't think so either. And the Chargers have a really good defense, but so does Kansas City. And they're at home, so now Houston has to go on the road. I just feel like that's a tall order for those guys to have to deal with. And Kansas City's got so much experience in these games. Until you knock them off, I'm not going to bet against them. Mm-hmm. Like if I pick a parlay for these games next week, like it's going to be Kansas City money line for sure. The only difference is going to be whether or not what the spread is on that game as it gets close to game time. You know, is it going to be 4.5? Is it going to be 7.5? I think Travis Kelce's going to have a monster game on Saturday for some reason because he hasn't really not that he's checked out. It just seems he's been very nonchalant all year with football. Like, yeah, I'm just going to show up, maybe catch a couple passes, maybe not, no big deal, you know. And I think he's ready to play in this playoff game and try to get Super Bowl 3 in a row type thing happening. So, yeah, to me that's a no-brainer.
I mean, Chiefs right now are 8-point favorites. That's pretty big.
That is big. But that's what the home field advantage is going to do for you, you know, and the experience. So we'll see what happens with that game. Now the next game on that side will be Detroit, Washington. Do we have a spread on that game before?
8.5.
That's a lot of points.
And Washington can score. I know they're on the road and they're going to be in a dome, so weather won't really be a factor and everything like that. But Detroit plays really well at home and in the dome. They crush it. All I'm saying is thank God we're not picking with the spread, because I don't know how I would bet this game at 8.5 points. You said that might go down a little bit to 7.5, but that's not much. Like if you think about it, in order for me to bet that on the Lions with that 8.5, that would have to go down to 6.5, because I could see the Lions winning by a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that would scare me for the Commanders is that, what's his name? Is it Lattimore on the on the Commanders?
Yeah.
That Evans was like torching last night. So I could see, a guy like Amon-Ra just tortured him as well. So I don't know. I think that, I don't know.
You know what I like about the Detroit Lions? They have so many offensive weapons, and Goff is really good at just finding the open
Gibbs
guy.
has just been amazing.
Yeah.
So
And David Montgomery's going to be back. Now, granted, he's going to be on a little bit of a leash,
yeah.
so he's not going to make a super impact. But if you're telling me he's not going to be there on, first or second down and goal from the 3.
Just to spell Gibbs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's going to take those and red zone touches and just do what he's got to do. You know what I mean? And then you got Laporta still. You even got that guy, what's his name? Jameson Williams, who's been really hot recently. So if he connects with him, that game could be over before halftime.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I'm picking Detroit.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I like both teams. I think they've been playing well. I think they got some good players on the teams, but I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take the Lions. They got the high-powered offense. They've been probably, if not one of the best teams in the NFC or in the league all year.
Yep.
So yeah, I think they keep it rolling this week.
Okay. So now this is where it gets interesting. We got Philly that's already made it through, and we got the game tonight. Now, we'll start with who we picked that's going to win tonight, Minnesota. Minnesota comes out on top here tonight. They now travel to Philly. So they go from Arizona to Philly, and, they're going to be on the road a second week in a row playing Philly. I think the best matchup for that game is Philly, Minnesota. So if we get that, that's going to be a really good game. The only thing I could be really worried about is if Sam Darnold has a pooper of a game. Because if you watched the Green Bay Philly game the other day, the quarterbacks were not good. Even Hurts was not good.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think they had a combined under 100 yards passing in the first half.
I mean, I'm gonna go with whoever wins the game tonight to beat the Eagles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. That's...
Either one.
Either one.
Either one.
Wow. So the Rams win tonight. They go to Philly. They're gonna beat Philly.
Yeah. I think there's a chance that they light up the Phillies secondary.
Really? That's very interesting. I think a little differently. I think the only way Philly wins is if they play the Rams. You know what I mean? I think Minnesota, they're well coached. As long as Sam Darnold doesn't have a dud, like I said, I think they will win that game.
The Rams are dangerous, man.
They are.
Stafford plays well. I mean, just the receivers, and then Kieran Williams has been amazing. They're a stacked team.
No, they are. They definitely are.
I don't know too much about their defense.
Their defense isn't great, from what I remember. I mean, listen, they're 10-7. You know what I mean? So they're not, by any means.
Well, they started out.
Oh, terrible. Yes, agreed. And they won some big games down the line. But like you said, which Matthew Stafford are you going to get to? These games are just all on the quarterbacks at this point. If the quarterback has a good game, I don't think you're going to lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just how these games are going right now. And then everyone else will play their parts. Don't get me wrong, Houston's defense was crazy this week with 4 interceptions. Then they had a bunch of sacks too. So
Yeah, I mean, was that more their defense or lack of protection and quarterback play by the Chargers?
I'm sure it's a little bit of both. Normally, that's how that works, I would think. You know what I mean? But either which way, they got the job done. So, you still need the defense. I don't know if this is going to be a shootout type of game tonight. But that's interesting that you said either team that wins tonight is going to beat the Phillies next week.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an upset next week for sure then on your book.
That's what I'm rooting for.
All right, so he's easy. What do you think, Wanderer?
Well, let's just say the Viking. We picked the Vikings. So if they play, it feels like it's. I feel like it's always. They always meet up with Philly in the playoffs, and I feel like Philly usually wins. So I'll go with that.
So you go with the Phillies. What if the Minnesota doesn't win and the Rams wind up going to Philly?
Yeah, I think I'll still pick
Philly?
Eagles.
Okay.
Maybe they'll just rely on the running game and the receivers can get it going.
This is actually fantastic. I got one side that says either team wins tonight is going to beat Philly. On my other side, I got no matter what team Philly faces, Philly's going to win. And then you got me in the middle that's, I'm playing 50-50. Minnesota wins or, Philly beats the Rams.
You gotta pick one, bro. You gotta pick one.
I did. I picked Philly versus the Rams, and I picked Minnesota versus Philly. So Minnesota over Philly if they play them. Philly over the Rams if the Rams make it through tonight. So I'm like right in between you guys, which is funny because I'm sitting in between you guys. So it's kind of weird, but that is hilarious. And then the game of next week is going to be Baltimore-Buffalo in Buffalo. This is huge for Buffalo. They're home. They should have no excuses to not win this game.
And Baltimore's favored by a point in Buffalo.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's going to change. That has to change.
I don't know. I don't get that.
Me neither. It's not even a pick 'em. You know what I mean? Like
No. I mean, typically, right? They always say the home team is usually 3-point favorite. So that they're saying the Ravens are like 4-point favorites. I don't know. For me, I'm going with the Bills. I just think that Josh Allen is got it in his head that he is winning the Super Bowl this year. Like, I think he's just so focused and got his target set, and I just think it's his year. Of course, he'll have a dud this week and lose and get blown out, but we'll see.
So that's what I'm worried about. The last time they played each other, which was way back in the kind of the beginning of the year, but the Bills decided not to show up for that game in Baltimore, and they got their asses handed to them. Now,
Oh, really? I forgot about this.
yeah, like I think they scored like 10 points, and the Ravens scored like 30 something. I'm not 100% sure, but I know they got throttled. Now, do they take that as a learning experience? And
where was that game?
I'm pretty sure it was Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, do they remember that game enough where they're not going to come into our house and beat us like that? I also want to see, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but I want to see Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes this year and see what happens with that in the conference final. Just me. Plus, I mean, Lamar had a good game on Saturday, so I'm not going to take that away from him, but normally he doesn't show up for these playoff games. These big ones.
That's another thing, right?
Right. So, to me, I'd be a little worried with him going on the road. I know it's cold in Baltimore, but it's nothing like Buffalo. So, if it's going to be cold up there, it's going to be a running game. Now, the Bills don't have the best rushing defense, but like you said, if Josh Allen is on, it might not matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
James Cook's been another beast.
I know. He's crazy. He's so good.
The only thing is for me, it's do Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson rush for 250 yards.
Right. That's what I'd be worried about if I was the Bills. Yeah, 100%. And with something like that, if you do that, by the end of the game, the Bills are going to be exhausted.
Yeah, which is basically what they did this week, right?
Right. And, you could kind of see, like, last-minute field goal, even though their kicker has not been good this year, Tucker. I don't know what happened to him. but I could totally see a last-minute field goal seals the deal for Baltimore. Listen, I don't think either team that goes to play Kansas City is going to be a good game. But I'm with you. I want to see the Bills. I'm rooting for the Bills. I hope they win on Sunday. I hope they just give us a really good game because that's at 6:30.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good odds that it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I would think so. Wonder, what do you got on the game?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Bills. Like Ernie said, I think Allen is dialed in. Baltimore's a good team, good offense, but I think I think Bills are gonna get it done.
Yeah, we're watching highlights of the game, and Derrick Henry looks like a beast.
Yeah, and it's so crazy with him because it's either he's rushing. It seems like it's either he rushes for 180 yards or he rushes for 45 yards.
Right.
It's like the craziest freaking thing.
It really is. And I don't know, whatever. He's still got a lot left in the tank. I feel bad for a guy like that because you eventually want someone like that to win a Super Bowl. But maybe he needs to go and...
Especially when you're putting him in your freaking anytime touchdown bets and he knows fucking stupid.
I guess you did that this week.
Who is this freaky kid? He looks like he's 10 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. Ben Slolik, ESPN NFL analyst, he's probably making $40,000 a year to be on TV. He probably just got out of college. I don't even think he has any facial hair, so maybe he didn't even get out of college. Maybe straight out of high school. They say, hey, kid, you want to talk on ESPN about some next-gen stats for NFL football? What do you think? ESPN fired a lot of their crew.
Yeah.
So they probably went cheaper, I know your boy Mike McCarthy. He didn't get fired. Just didn't.
His contract was up,
and they just didn't hire him.
Which, that's fine. Good riddance. Listen. Until Jerry Jones stops being the general manager, that team's not going to do anything. But the other thing I don't understand is last week when Chicago wanted to talk to him, the Cowboys denied them.
Yeah.
And then you hear today, doesn't make any sense.
I guess they just wanted them to wait, if anything.
I mean, I would have liked Vrabel, but that's done now. I have a funny feeling it's going to end up being Dion.
They were saying that before you guys got here, and I was listening to it. But, I don't know if that makes sense for either one of those guys. Because
it definitely doesn't make sense for Dion.
I know.
Because, Jerry Jones is just looking for somebody that he can pull the strings on.
Yeah. And I don't think that's Dion.
No, I don't.
Dion's a big personality himself, so he's going to want to do his own thing.
And I think if Dion goes anywhere, I don't know. I would like to think that he's going to want to go somewhere where there's a chance of his son going there as well, and who knows?
Well, I don't know if that's happening now because his son said he wasn't going to go play for the Titans or the Browns.
Yeah.
Or anything like that, which is basically setting up for the Giants. And the Giants have their head coaches already. Head coach, he's not going anywhere. They made a statement last week saying as much. I don't really know where he's going to go. It's interesting. This draft is going to be...
It's going to be such an awful draft.
Yeah. I don't even know what the Jets are going to do. They have the number 7 pick. You're just going to go get another offensive lineman? Bless you.
Thank you.
Because you're definitely not getting a good quarterback at 7. And even if you wanted to pick a quarterback at number 7, you might as well just wait to the 3rd or 4th round.
Right.
At that point, because no one's that good. Why waste that pick?
Exactly. Or trade up, and you know how much it costs to trade up.
Right. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't do that.
Not for any of these guys.
No. And
at least I don't think so.
I agree with you. From what I've heard and everything like that, I would stay at 7th. I would even try and trade my pick and move down a little bit, maybe to 11, 12, 13.
You could do that too.
And try to get some more draft capital because we still don't know what they're going to do with Aaron Rodgers, even though you're kind of stuck. What can you? I know people say you got to move on from Rodgers, but okay, you move on from Rodgers. Who are you replacing him with?
Kirk Cousins.
Right. It's the same problem. We're going to have the same problem just with a guy that's never won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
We shall see. We shall see.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy to me how this is going to go. And I feel like the Giants are lucking out as of right now because they lost the first pick, and now they still might be able to get the quarterback that they want, you know, with Sanders. So they might luck out in all this. I don't know how that's going to work with them once he gets to camp and all that. That might be a different story, but I guess we'll see. I don't think there's any other news. There's a bunch of vacancies open for head coaches too. The Jets are literally interviewing everybody.
I think they said there's seven. Is it seven? Does that sound right?
Well, if you
There was 7. I think it's 6 now after Vrabel.
Vrabel went to the Patriots, which what a bummer. Those guys just literally ran through their interviews just to make sure they could get Vrabel in there.
Yeah, and I think that was probably once they fired what's his face Mayo. I think they fired him because they knew they were getting Vrabel.
Yeah, he must have showed some interest and was like, yeah, okay.
Plus he played there for all those years. And
Of course, it makes. Don't get me wrong, it makes sense. I'm just a little jealous because I wish he would have been a Jet head coach.
I know.
You know, it's just a shame. I kind of feel like the Jets are just interviewing almost anybody right now for
and it seems to me like the Rex Ryan talk is quieted.
Yeah, it's
right?
well, he had. When did he have his interview? It was last week on like Tuesday, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's it. I got an interview this Thursday with them. I'm hoping they really like my spiel, and then I could be the Jets head coach,
Good luck.
or at least the GM. I'll take either position if to be fair. Thank you. I appreciate the good luck. I'm going to need it. But I'm throwing my hat in the ring. We'll see what happens.
You never know.
You know, if not, I'll always have a career in radio.
Take a fraction of the price, right?
Just give me $300 a year for the next couple of years, and that's it. I'll be all right with that. You know, they can fire me after a year. I'll be fine. But yeah, after that, there's no more football news because everything's around the playoffs. We got a little bit of baseball news. That guy Roki Sasaki will not be signing with the Mets or the Yankees.
Yeah. We didn't know that already.
Right. Which, you know what? It's kind of a shame all these Japanese players are now going to the West Coast.
Yeah, because it's closer to home, I guess.
Yeah, but no one cared about that like 10 years ago when all these Japanese players were actually signing with East Coast teams. You know what I mean?
It's a copycat league, bro. They all want to be like Shohei. He'll go to the Dodgers. The Dodgers will give him some ridiculous contract, 99.9% of it deferred for the next 60 years. Blah, 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 blah.
It's just a shame, man. I would like to see him on the Yankees. Now I wish him nothing but hate and terrible baseball play from him. Maybe even a Tommy John surgery or two. The weird thing about him is he's not going to sign for much. For whatever reason, he can't do it like what they do with Shohei Ohtani. Like that's why he's getting to pick his team.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like the same price for every team. Something like that.
Oh, because he's international.
Yeah, so it's like they can only each team will sign him for the same amount or whatever they got. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. You know, it's funny. After Juan Soto signed, nothing has been getting done with the baseball free agents.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Which worked out good for him. He got the spotlight to himself, I guess.
yeah, it'll be fine. You know, they're picking the Mets to only win 91 games next year.
Really?
As of right now, yeah.
Oh, is that what their over-under is?
Yeah, I looked at it. They're gonna be like 91 whatever. I'm like,
And what is it for the Yankees?
94 and a half or something like that.
Wow.
And they're like 91 and a half.
Wow.
Or 90 and a half. I'm not sure what I recall. But yeah, it's weird.
94, that's a big number.
It's not bad. It's almost exactly the same what they had this past year. This past year, I think they were 95 and a half or something like that. So they're pretty much right there. So basically, you had Juan Soto for you. He gave you one more win or whatever it was. But yeah, did you see this Pete Alonso thing where he's giving the Mets like a contract, basically?
No.
He basically told Boris, go tell the Mets I'll take a 3 or 4 year deal, but for X amount of money with opt-outs in it. And this is just a hometown, I guess, discount or whatever it is.
Right.
And the Mets still didn't bite on it.
Wow.
I heard on the way home from work today on the radio that there was videos going around of him doing a squatting session with what's the pitcher's name? Minaya that they just signed? Yeah.
What? Okay. So he's hanging out with Sean Manaea right now?
Yeah, working out, I guess.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Whatever.
I mean, I guess they're in no rush to get it done, so to speak. So I guess we'll see. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's sticking with the football theme, and you know, we're always talking about what we're watching. I came across and just by chance, and I'm like, I remember watching this, but I don't really remember a lot of it. So I started watching again, Ballers. Do you remember Ballers?
Oh, with The Rock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
You know, it's so much better than I remember it, and like, I'm enjoying watching it again. It's like, it was a really good show, and like I think, like the thing that kept coming across my mind is that it's probably one of the earlier things he's done, right? One of the early, because that was a while ago, that show. I think it was on the same time as Entourage.
No, I think it was after Entourage. I could be wrong, but it's not that
Towards
early.
the end of Entourage, because I believe I used to watch it after. Anyways, definitely, like in my opinion, like the best thing that he's ever done.
Yeah, it was a really good show. I liked it a lot. It was on HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching it every week.
Really good. I really enjoy it. It's like, and if you're a football fan, I mean, it's hard not to enjoy it, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's like the inner workings of like the
But
agencies.
for some reason, I'm just like, it's so much better than I ever remembered it. You know.
You know what? I wonder why it got canceled. Is my thing, because it was so good.
Well, I mean, it was on for, like, when I'm checking now to see, it was on for 5 seasons.
I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I didn't think that it was. I thought it was only like 2 seasons or something like that, but it was 5 seasons, and you know, they wrap it up.
I don't remember the ending.
Yeah, so it was like there's no question that it was done. Basically.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, that was definitely a good show. I liked that show a lot. I was actually disappointed when they actually wrapped it up and they were done with it. I thought it could add a couple more seasons into it, but that's fine. Speaking of shows and stuff like that, I'm halfway through Silo season 2. Like, I really just want to see if she gets back to the other Silo. Is that just me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, can we get her back there?
And you know she will.
100%. And it's going to be a whole mess. It's going to be a cliffhanger, right? Did you see it already?
I haven't watched the whole of it.
What about you, want to know?
No, I haven't seen the second season.
Yeah, I'll be done with it by this week. So I'm kind of hoping this is like sort of wrapped up a little bit. I know it probably won't be, because when I was looking it up in IMDb, it's set for 4 seasons. So that means there's another 2 seasons easily coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, if you look on IMDb, it already has season 3, episode 1, season 4, episode 1. So I don't know if they're written yet or whatever it is, what the case maybe is, or if they just have ideas, but they're having 4 seasons of that show.
Okay.
Which will piss me off, because I'm going to be left on a cliffhanger by this weekend.
For a whole year.
Correct. At least a whole year. Because sometimes these shows, they don't come back for 2 years. It pisses me off. Do you get that with any other shows? Well, I forget what. Stranger Things is the worst. Like, I don't even remember when that last season was on. Like, and they're not coming back till the end of this year.
Well, I think that's gonna be it, though, right?
No,
Isn't it
100%.
The final one, so they're probably taking their sweet time.
And supposedly every episode is gonna be like an hour and a half.
Wow.
Stranger
That's
Things.
another thing that they do too. Like,
When is it coming back? You said?
I think it's
End of this year or next year? You said?
End of this year?
This year.
When's autumn?
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah.
Right? Isn't that like right before, around fallish
Oh, I
times?
thought it was coming on soon.
Unless the things were wrong, it said autumn of 2025.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, maybe they move it up or whatever. This, that, and the other. I don't know. You got Squid Game season 2 out, which I haven't started yet. But apparently, season 3 is coming out this summer. So like they dropped this one just now, and now season 3 is coming. It's like back to back.
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling when I watched.
I
season
mean,
two.
in between season 1 and 2 was like
A long time.
2 years.
Yeah. How many? Do you know off the top of your head how many episodes you watched for season 2?
I
Maybe.
think I looked it up last time. I think it was like 7.
So it's a split season then.
Yeah.
They're doing like the
Like
Cobra Kai
7
thing.
or 8.
Oh, so maybe that's what it is.
Right. It's season 2 part 1 and season 2 part 2 like in the summertime. Because that's driving me nuts. Like some of these shows, they're either too quick or too damn slow.
Yeah.
You know? And part of me doesn't even want to watch, like, I'll just wait till the summer and watch it all together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, especially that show. That's one of those shows that you can do that.
Yeah, you could wait for that. Like, I mean, did you like it? Squid Games too?
Yeah, it was
Season two?
cool. Yeah, I liked it.
I mean, most people that I hear from are saying that they like 2 better than 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I heard the opposite. People like 1 better than 2. Because, like, they didn't know what they were getting themselves into with season 1. Now you know, like, what the gist of it is. So, I don't know. That's interesting. So maybe I'll have to watch it. It's only 7 episodes. Are they hour-long episodes?
I think so.
Yeah, they're not short.
Okay. That's good. I still haven't watched The Last Kingdom yet. I've been watching a bunch of movies.
I forget
Oh yeah,
about
what
that.
movies?
This thing called Watcher or Watchers.
What's that?
It's like not a horror movie, but when I was sitting here watching it, I'm thinking, I'm like, this movie is like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the movie, what pops up?
His name?
Written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I'm like, God damn it, I knew it. Because I don't technically like to watch his movies, like, because his movies are either really
They
good
suck.
or really bad. And he doesn't have a lot of really good ones, you know what I mean? So they're mostly really bad movies.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that, but the premise of the movie is
But I guess somebody's watching because I feel like he's making a new one
Yeah.
all the time.
100%. And his movies always have like some twist that's not really even a twist.
Yep.
You know, but the whole time it makes you think it's a twist. And then when you get to the end of the movie, like, that, what?
That was it.
Uh-huh. Like, The Village is the one movie that annoys me the most out of his movies. Because, like, it was, like, supposed to be, like, way back in the day. They're in a little village. And then you want to find out they're in, like, Yellowstone National Park, secluded. The monster's fake. And you're like, what is this crap? You know? But this one was different. It was about, like, fairies and, like, but, like, not like Tinkerbell fairies, but, like, monster fairies. And they're in the woods. And when you go to this certain part of the woods, you just get lost in it. And, like, you aren't found. Like, you're just there in the woods. So either the fairies get to you or you figure something out. Like, I don't want to ruin the whole movie. But it was good. It was engaging. You know what I mean? The whole time through. It's just when I heard it was him, it ruined it for me at the end. But even the ending was good. Like, it wasn't his normal movie in my opinion. So it was a little mystical. And then you find out certain things, and then you have the surprise ending, and okay, and I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but it's a quick hour and a half movie, or maybe hour and 40 minutes tops, you know. Shoot, I watched if you're ever bored and not watching, like you don't want to watch the same old crap, on Prime, it's called Buddy Games. There's a 1 and 2 of it. There's a lot of actual famous people in there. They're like lower level famous people, but there are a lot of famous people in there. And it's actually kind of funny. You know what a movie reminds me of? It's like a bootleg Tag. Remember the movie Tag with Jeremy Renner and those?
Yeah.
And they play tag all over the place? It's almost like that, but just slightly different kind of game. You know what I mean? And it was funny. I watched it over the 2 movies over the weekend. I was like, oh, all right, you know, hour and a half, breezed through, got a couple laughs out of it, and I was left, I guess, satisfied for the most part. The last week, you guys are gonna love this. You ever seen the movie Midway?
No, what's that?
It's about World War II and Japan attacks Pearl Harbor.
No.
It's new.
It's not new. It's from like 2019. I don't know how I missed it.
Huh.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it when it came out.
Yeah, like Dennis Quaid's in it.
Would you watch it on?
Oh, Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Right.
So it's a little bit longer.
War movies.
Yeah.
Tend to be
Yeah,
longer,
exactly.
And I'm pretty sure it's a true story.
so- Okay.
I remember it either being based on a true story or whatever.
Well, I mean, those kind of movies, it's hard not to be based on
Right.
actual events.
Right. But it's really, the only, I guess, advice I'd give you is when the Japanese people are speaking, put on the subtitles. Because, like, a lot of stuff they say is important. In the beginning, I thought they would just throw it up there, and they didn't. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's just
Wow,
this
you
one
actually
time.
watch something with subtitles?
Yeah, but like I said, it's few and far between. But it's like usually like for like the military part of the movie where like they're doing like their tactics or whatever, and so you have to listen to what they're saying. So like I'd be sitting here with the remote and I'd be like, subtitles, no subtitles, subtitles, no subtitles, especially at the end because then that's when the battle happens and all hell breaks loose. But like there's action throughout the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. You guys should check it out. It was definitely good. That was one of the better movies I watched this past week since we've last been on. And that's pretty much it. That's all I watched this past week. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty. I stayed home a lot this week and just watched the movies. It's kind of lazy.
When are we taking down the Christmas tree, bro?
Probably this weekend. I've been lazy. I told you. I was just watching TV. So that tree might be up till February.
I did see something interesting that could work for you. I saw a video where people just buy one of those rolls of clear wrap, like, when they wrap a skid of boxes, and they just take their Christmas tree and they walk around it and wrap it with this thing and then just throw it in the attic.
With all the stuff on it?
Yeah!
I'm not doing that, bro. You're crazy. You're crazy. You know how many hundreds of dollars of ornaments I have on that tree?
Too much invested in.
Yeah, man, you're
marble,
crazy.
So
Yeah, you crazy.
wrap it good, bro.
No, bro, because then when you open it up, they're all gonna fall because they're gonna be off the hooks. 100%. Plus, this is a fake tree. It folds up. So if you tighten it too much, it's gonna fold up. And then when you open it up and cut it like the animal I would, everything's gonna fall off the damn tree. Plus, I'm getting rid of that tree. I just bought a new one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got a little bit bigger one, a little fuller, bigger trees,
Oh.
7 foot, because I think that's 6 foot ish, maybe 6.5. So I went to 7. I feel like I got enough ceiling space for a new tree. That's another reason why I'm leaving it up, because if the new tree comes, I think it comes on Saturday. If it connects and there's no issues, then I'm going to donate that tree to the church for some family I guess to have. So I'm just waiting to see where that tree's going to go.
So what, you're gonna open the tree and check it out to make sure it works and everything?
Yeah, because it connects like all those fake trees do. But when I was on Amazon reading the stuff, like the customer reviews, like there were a couple negative comments, but like the tree was like $50. So I was like, I'll give it a chance. You know what I mean? But I have to open it because by the time I do it next year, I won't be able to return it. You know what I'm saying? So like,
You just gotta see what you got.
yeah, so I'll open it up. I'll put it together. If it opens up, like I'm good to go. Throw it back in the box, and that's it. You know what I mean? And then this one I get rid of.
Alright.
We got a busy week this week. The judge is getting the judge has got his ceremony on Wednesday.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I don't have much time. And tomorrow I'm seeing my sister's kids again. So maybe Thursday I'll take the tree down. I don't really know. Maybe Friday. Maybe Saturday. I'm in no rush. I kind of like the tree. I don't want to leave Christmas yet.
I hear you.
But other than that, anyone watch anything else besides me? Like I know I'm the only one that's watching all these movies.
No, I just been watching Ballers.
I find it funny to me that you're rewatching Ballers, and yet we have a list of TV shows to watch, and you don't start watching.
But
the
I
show.
told you, like I just stumbled upon it by chance, and I don't know why, but I put on an episode, and I'm like, wow, I don't remember this being this good. And I've just been watching that.
Oh boy, what about you, Wander? Anything?
Yeah, I haven't really been watching anything. I was thinking about maybe I'll check out that there's a new series on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but that guy Taylor Kitsch, I think his name, and he's in it. It was I always like look each week to see what's new.
Right, on Netflix.
That was like
And who is this guy?
he's in what was he in?
Was he in?
Friday Night Lights. I think the show he was in, or was it the movie? I forget. He was in Cowboys and Aliens.
Was in that military movie with Mark Wahlberg?
He might have been.
He's one of the 4 guys, and then they wind up getting
Yeah.
killed. And
I saw it was like number 1 on this list for
and it's a TV show.
yeah. Let me see.
Huh? Interesting.
But and then other than that, I was actually watching American Primeval. It's called.
American Primeval. What's
Yeah.
that about?
That's it's like the Old West.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it's a western.
I saw the
Yeah.
commercial on Saturday night, I guess it was,
Mhm.
during the football games.
Yeah.
They're
Luckily,
coming out with the new season of that 1923, the Yellowstone spin-off
Oh,
with
Really?
what's his face? Oh my God,
Oh, okay, cool.
the old man from Shrinking. What the hell? Why am I forgetting
Harrison
his name?
Ford?
Yes.
Are you
Indiana
sure
Jones.
it's new?
Yeah,
Positive?
I saw a commercial.
Yeah, but I think they're just putting it on TV because that was exclusively to Paramount Plus. That and the other one, like 1823.
Yeah, but 1923, they only did 1 season.
So
of
there's a
it.
second season?
It said season 2.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh. That's good. I like that show.
I did too. I liked 1886 better.
1883, I think it was.
Whatever. It was 18 something. Does it fucking matter? But
No, that first.
I like that one much better.
Yeah, the first one that they did was really good.
Oh,
Really
God,
good.
that one was real good.
And it just made you think, like, I wouldn't have survived back then. I would have been like, call it quits, man. Shoot me, I'm done. Let a snake bite me, I'm good. Like, I'm not doing all this traveling or whatever. Like, I couldn't even build a house. Like, these guys are doing everything.
Yeah.
And then it slightly got a little bit better with the Harrison Ford one. Like, not better in the first season was good.
Yeah. I mean, they had cars.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were just so much more advanced. So it was just, you could see the difference, like how it got easier for his family.
Right,
After
right.
that first one, I think it was 1823, and then it was, or 1883, and then 1923. But yeah, so if this is season 2, that's dope. I like that show, and we talked about Yellowstone, so I was kind of done with that.
Yeah.
Next on the list is Landman. I'm excited to watch that.
Oh, that's good. I have to get caught up on that. I haven't watched it in a couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
they're putting a lot of money into that show from what I was like hearing and reading and listening to, because that guy that did Yellowstone is doing that now. Like, he shifted gears.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like. Listen, I guess every good show costs a fortune to put on, but it's not like they're doing anything crazy or. But it's really, and he's just good. He's great. I like him.
Oh, Billy Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's normally good in a lot of stuff that he does. I think my favorite movie of his is Bad Santa.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, like I can't remember. I mean, I know he's in a bunch of movies and stuff that we've seen, and I'm just like, when I think of Billy Bob Thornton now, besides the movie The Monsters Ball with Halle Berry, besides that one scene in that movie, I think of Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of other things right now off the top of my head that I'm like, oh yeah, he was good in that too.
So you haven't watched?
Sling Blade.
Yeah, I watched Sing Blade, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. But like, that doesn't immediately come to my head
Right.
because like, I guess I was little when that movie, and I watched that movie like for the first time, I think like 5 years ago.
You haven't watched any of Landman yet?
No, I've zero because I'm waiting for it to be done in the season.
It's a good show. You'll like it.
Yeah, and I think it's almost done with the season. Like, not for nothing, I think it's
I would think so.
Yeah, it's
If
close.
It's not already done.
yeah, it's close because even Silo, their last episode is this Friday, which is perfect timing. How I set that up to finish it on Friday or Saturday. So
Speaking of Apple, They have Severance is coming back
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, but as Ernie's alluded to before, I'm not gonna remember anything that happened. So it's like maybe I should go back and watch the old ones.
That was a show that I tried to watch the first episode of the first season when it came out, and
It's definitely different. But
You have to like get like
just that
wait for
whole like opening half an episode where they're sitting in the office, and I'm just like, forget this.
And then I think maybe another reason why I didn't really watch anything this week is because you know how they do like a lot of marathons on HBO from like I guess it's like maybe a January thing where they'll just throw on like every season of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So last week they just started doing the old episodes of Curb.
Oh
So
yeah.
literally every night I would just watch like 3 episodes or 4, however many. Just
Right.
as soon as I saw it was on, I was like, all right. And
Curb
then
is
watch
great.
Just like
Can't go
3
wrong with that.
or 4 of the season.
Yeah.
A half hour each. It's
Yep.
perfect.
Yeah, it's quick. Those shows are like nice and
like,
easy.
when I first caught it was the first episode, so it was perfect.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a good show. I didn't think I was gonna like that show, so I was pleasantly surprised with that. Thank God. But because I'm not a big Seinfeld fan, but it's just I guess it's better just to be on HBO. You know what I mean? It's a totally different feel. But yeah, it was it's a good show to watch before bedtime. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Get a
yeah.
couple laughs in.
Definitely.
That's what I'm doing recently. Like I got so done with watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was like, I gotta put that down for a little bit. So I tried finding like a good light-hearted TV show. We wound up watching Shrinking for a little while, but I already watched that season 2 just like a couple weeks ago. But that show you breeze through too because it's like 30-something minutes, and it's entertaining as well. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewatch Blue Mountain State. I started on Saturday a little bit. I'm a couple episodes into that, so that to me that show never ages.
It's so funny because I completely forgot about that, and I forgot to tell you about it because obviously you're the one that told me about that. But I forget what it was, but it was a while ago. Came up in conversation. I was talking to my son, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm watching Blue Mountain State right now." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus."
I'm like, oh God, Jesus thinks he's gonna know now. But yeah, I guess that's it. Wanda, you got anything for us?
Yeah, just one pick this week.
What'd I tell you last week? What'd I tell you?
I haven't been listening to a ton of stuff. So
All right.
I got to work on that. This is an older album, Mac DeMarco with Salad Days. So that's the pick for this week.
Excellent. So I guess that'll wrap us up. Hopefully the Minnesota Vikings win, or just whatever the best team remaining goes on and beats Philly. And hopefully Ernie's correct that Philly's just going to lose next week. And we'll wind up talking about the divisional round next week. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Have a good night.
All right, later, guys.